Warning: viewer discretion is advised. This channel and its content are not intended for anyone under 13 years of age. If you are under 13, please turn off this video. The following may contain material not suited for viewers under 13, such as coarse and suggestive language, tobacco, drug and/or alcohol references, simulated/fantasy violence, and adult situations. Additionally, this channel and its contents are not intended to be a replacement for proper parenting. Don't allow viewing habits to interfere with personal responsibilities and relationships. Constructive criticism is encouraged, making for better content. Jokes are jokes, albeit immature ones. Please watch responsibly. Thank you.
It's colossal, it's stupendous, it's conspicuously incredible! Hurry, step right up! Hey, Sonny, you wanna give it a try?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Conspicuously Incredible Gaming. I am your host, Mike. So, it's still Summon Night. I want to say Summon Night. It's still Summon Night, and this is now episode 16 of Summon Night Swordcraft Story for the Game Boy Advance. And I've done something that what the hell's going on there? Alright, good intro, yay, nailed it. So, I'm basically picking right back up where I left off. Just butt end to end. I haven't even turned this off or anything, I'm just going straight into it. I haven't even saved, backed out or nothing. I'm doing basically just, I backed out of one and started another just so I can have another video to do. So I'm still in the labyrinth and still trying to make my way through, so. Yep, here we go. Yep, exactly where I left off, exactly. Alright. Like I mentioned earlier, yeah, I gotta get a lot of stuff set up in that, upstairs. Bookshelves and the like. Now the other room, you can laugh at me if you want. I don't care. I like being creative. I like making things. I like doing things. I like trying new things out. I'm actually going to have a sewing machine up there to make and do stuff what I need. I'm going to probably make me like a workbench, like a soldering station to learn how to do electronics and different stuff like that. I know you really ain't going to laugh about the electronics thing, but the sewing, oh, you're going to sew? Fuck yeah, I'm going to sew. I had to take 4 years of fucking home economics for nothing. Cook, clean, sew, balance a fucking checkbook. Fucking everything. I just like making stuff. I mean, I got a whole... You guys probably ain't seen it. I know I've talked to a few of you. Mate, probably even Neiroe a little bit about, I think where I was talking, the whole Nico from One Shot. That blanket's kind of gone by the wayside a bit because I'm like, well, how am I gonna do it? And is it gonna look like crap? And I was like working on a lot of stuff. It just seems the way I was going about doing it was gonna make it like really weird looking and kind of chunky and and okay, but like there could have been different ways to go about doing that. Oh, damn, getting lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. Alright. But I have a whole bag. A whole duffel bag, basically, it's leather bound. I mean, it's imitation. I know it's imitation leather or that real cheap scrap leather shit. But you know, I've got a big like duffel bag full of yarn, full of all different colors, different shit like that I've been wanting to make shit out of. I've been wanting to do, and about all I can do right now is like the single crochet stitch. I can do it. I've been learning a little bit more. I think if I practice with it, I can do the double, and I could probably do a few other different things. But like right now, like I have the single crochet stitch down. But that's only going in a straight line. My grandma used to make these blankets that the color would zigzag. And I think it's like so many single crochet stitches. Then you do some weird goofy like maybe half or the double crochet, or you skip a chain or something. And then do more single crochet and then skip a chain again the other way, and like eventually it becomes this zigzag pattern. You know, this all the colors, the whole thing. And I got a couple of blankets. I got the one she made for me, and I think I got the one she made for my grandpa years ago. One of them, I can't remember which one it was, got ripped a little bit on the inside, and I got to try to figure out how to patch it back up without having the whole goddamn thing unravel on me. But like, I mean, those are just simple things. And I even saw, you know, some shit on, somebody was doing like the drunken granny stitch, where it's basically kind of like these like seashell looking kind of patterns, but they go back and forth and back and forth, and it's like this weird like chain, this and that, and then you each it. When I watched it, I got it, but it would be one of those things. But somebody was making a baby blanket out of it, and I'm looking at it going, yeah, that's pretty straightforward, you know. But see me, I'm like, okay. Anybody can sit there and just keep single stitching till you get a chain, you know, wide as your arms or wide as a, you know, queen or king size bed, and then turn the bitch around and come back the other way, and turn the bitch around and come back the other way. My thought was, can't you make pixel art out of that shit? And it turns out you can. There's many different ways of going about doing that. Now, depending how big the blanket is and how high res or how res whatever you want the character or whatever. I mean, you can make a bunch of granny squares. I've seen somebody make a bunch of granny squares and make like a small, I mean, like if it was an actual, like, you know, on pixel or whatever, it would only maybe be like 16 by 16 or something like that. It was a fucking muffin with a little like whipped cream and a cherry on top, like a muffin. But they made it out of a bunch of granny squares and then stitched the granny squares together. I'm like, okay, if you got, you know, granny squares 5-6 inches, you know, by 5-6 inches, and then you stitched all them together in between each one of them, yeah, maybe. But the blanket I was thinking about making was so many by so many, and the squares were going to be like 2 inches by 2 inches. So if I stitched all those together, in between each pixel, there would be this thick-ass line, this thick-ass, like, you know, where everything would be stitched together. And there's a way you can make, there's another way you could do it, like, from corner to corner that's fucking, like, I don't know. But I was looking at a lot of this, and it's like, there's a way that you can kind of change yarn on the fly and start with another square and do this and do that. And I've been looking into that, but then it just kind of pissed out on me there. Or I pissed out on myself, basically. But I wanted to do like a, hell, like a pixel version of Hatsune Miku, you know, to put on my own bed. I was thinking about doing that Nico from One Shot blanket, and my original idea was to make it and give it to Mate, because that was his, you know, he really loved that game, and I just kind of, you know, over the last year and something, kind of just fizzled out on it. But I want to do cross-stitching too. Yes, I'm either an anomaly or the world's most effeminate male. Like, you know, I want to do cross-stitching of anime characters. I thought he was dead. I kind of backed off a minute. I want to do cross-stitching. I want to do, like, embroidering, like, different things like that, like, with anime characters and different... I made this set of curtains to put in my bunk here. Actually, I mean, you guys ain't see it. This, I believe, is a shower curtain, or some kind of, like, curtain rod. I've actually made curtains. It's getting closer, yeah. I've made curtains, 2 pieces, you know, in the middle, that I can put so it goes across this bunk. So that not only the sleeper curtains up here block out the light, but these also block out the light, and this little vent that, you know, puts in cold air and everything, or hot air or whatever, through the heating HVAC system, will kind of then stir around here, so it's like this whole bunk is kind of closed off halfway. And shit, doing that, I done pissed everything off the track. And I wanted to basically do some embroidering and either sew or iron them on like patches onto the inside or outside of these curtains, so that, you know, I kind of got some design, some, you know, stuff like that. I just think of weird shit like that all the time. I mean, that room that I was in with my cousin, I painted the whole thing. I even picked the paint out because it kind of sounded nice. The color was called Ethereal Blue. I painted, with the exception of the wood paneling that my aunt at the time didn't want me to paint over, anything else that was already like painted over, including the ceiling, I painted Ethereal Blue. And then I took white paint and took cloth. Basically, I took like a handful of cloth and bunched it up. I took another handful of cloth and wrapped it up over top of it and bundled it up. And then I basically took the bundle and I dipped it in the paint and made it kind of like a stamp in a way. And I stamped clouds all over, patches of clouds up above, and a whole like banner of clouds around the top edge of the walls. Well, and you guys have probably seen that if you remember watching my earlier videos. What you have not seen is I took glow-in-the-dark paint and did spots all around, like, say, chest high on the walls, and then all on the ceiling, you know, from about chest high on the walls up, and the whole ceiling. I dotted various dots, sizes, you know, whatever, of the glow-in-the-dark paint. So basically, when you have the light on, it looks like daytime. Then, because the light's been on all day and charging up the paint, when you turn the light off, it looks like nighttime. And I like that, and I mean, for that upstairs part, with the exception of the one wall that I'm going to paint light green because of the, you know, because of the green screen, or I may end up just buying a, seems like to me with enough lighting and painting the one wall green, it would be fine, but I might end up doing that with the whole, with the whole of the upstairs as it is. The ethereal blue and the clouds and everything up there upstairs. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know how I'm gonna paint my bedroom, which is gonna be the first room I'm gonna tackle when I get... next time I get home. Well, all that carpet has to go, first of all. Whether or not I put down new carpet, that's going to be another thing, too, but... just, I don't particularly care for the carpet. Especially in the living room and in the dining room. It's the same carpet. They basically just cut out the spots where the doorway went. They cut out the spots for the doorway, and like the whole thing. It's all one big solid piece of carpet from the living room into the dining room. They just cut out the doorway. It's kind of like an H almost. They cut out the individual sides or whatever, and then just like kept the whole thing going. It's the same carpet. The carpet has no personality. The wallpaper in the dining room has no personality. My cousin said it looked like something from fucking Amityville Horror. It's like this beige, like tan background with roses and a small little rose, almost like a paisley type pattern. It's so... 1970s, 60s, 70s, middle-class suburban type shit. It really looks, I'm trying to make this place my own here. I thought about for my bedroom going with a Hatsune Miku type of scheme. Shit. I should have done that earlier. Where I basically go with like the gray of her, the darker gray of her tights or her leggings for the bottom half of the floor, and maybe the lighter gray for the top half of the walls, above the trim, and then maybe maybe even the trim, like the red in her hair. Not her hair, but the squares, where she's got where her pigtails hang out of, the red in between the gray. I thought about painting the ceiling like the green, like the way her hair is. But there's this whole big thing, too, that's like... Normally you would paint a ceiling white. No matter what you paint the walls or the floor, finish the floor, you'd paint whatever. And I'm kind of fighting with myself over whether or not to make it like... like this wild, eccentric jigsaw puzzle type shit where every room is different. Like Funhouse type shit. Or... whether I should try to go with one theme throughout the house. Now, I can do some kind of modified, like, Hatsune Miku theme around the house. But, probably be one of those things where I couldn't go as crazy as I wanted to in the bedroom. And I would have to make it consistent around the whole entire house. The problem is... now, I'm going to have to change a lot of the interior doors. Or at least that one interior door for the bedroom. And possibly the one upstairs. But all the trim, all of everything that's wood, that was like trim, or the doorways, the archways around the doors, the steps, the banister, the little flourishes and everything down below the edge of each step going up. There's little, like, flourishes almost under each step going up on the side of the wall in the dining room. They painted over every fucking thing. All the windows, the window frames, the trim around the walls, except for the kitchen, which I don't know what the hell was going on with the kitchen. I think the kitchen was, like, kind of after the... Well, first of all, the trim ain't where it's supposed to be in the kitchen. Anybody who's anybody knows that trim is supposed to go about waist high in the room. Because the trim on the walls, especially in, like, say, a dining room or a kitchen, is supposed to prevent the backs of chairs from hitting into the wall and screwing up the paint. Why the trim in the kitchen is frickin' neck to nipple high, I don't know. I have no clue what the fuck they were doing. And then the banister, the paper, wallpaper, like, trim, with the wallpaper banners are right up above the trim instead of up in the ceiling. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. So all that in the kitchen is going to have to go down where it's supposed to go. And all the other trim in the dining room is going to have to, you know, basically all the other trim in the house, the doorways, the stairs, the flourishes on the stairs, all the trim. There's even moldings and stuff on the walls in the dining room. There's moldings and stuff in the living room too. Everything that looks like it's wood, that should be wood, is fucking painted. And, like, there was the one doorway leading into the kitchen from the dining room, and I see, like, it's starting to flick off a little bit, so I start, like, flicking away some at it. And it's this beautiful, like, it's not a dark finish. It's a lighter finish of wood. But this shit was actually, like, you know, properly sanded down real good and then sealed, you know, like varnished. Why would you paint over that? You're not going to spend all this time sanding off or trying to, I don't know if it chemically or physically remove this paint. I don't know what's going to be worse for the wood, because I don't want the chemicals to soak in, ruining the wood, which I'm probably then going to have to sand again anyway. Or just sand all the shit off, or try to find, you know, like a scraper, a spatula, not a chisel. I still can't remember what the fuck the name of the scraper, whatever the hell, you know, to scrape a lot of that off, if it'll even come off, and then sand it down anyway, and then, you know, work my way up as far as grit, you know, work my way finer till I can finally re-varnish it again. I'm sorry, I'm talking and not fucking playing, and I should be playing. Ow, you fuck! $159. Ooh, 173. Ooh, ice is working real good on them. I think I'm going back the other way again. But see, then a lot of the rooms have this baseboard trim around them, which has also been fucking painted. And the bedroom's actually missing 2 panels, which already right there means I'm either going to have to magically, in some fucking miracle, match those panels, or every goddamn panel in the whole fucking house, the foot panels, the banners below, are going to have to be totally replaced into something that I want. And that's probably going to be the case, because I'm going to have to do all the damn trim on the floors, redo them like I want them. Because at this point, that's a lot of peeling shit off the wall and resanding it just to try to then hope I can get it put back not only in the right order, in the right direction, but to get it straight. And I might have to get a brad nailer. You know, so I ain't like these big ass heads on them, just, you know, something to do trim. Because you want to do like small brads, but you don't want to use a hammer and hammer it in, because then you get the hammer marks all over the shit. So I might have to buy a frickin' brad nailer. To put these damn to put this damn trim back on the wall. After I sand it by hand, probably, and then revarnish it. And the thing is that they've had this house up for sale since like 2018. I've noticed. When you go back and you look through Zillow where I bought it, you know, where I saw it through and then did all the shit through. It goes back to like the property tax value, you know, what the property taxes were for each year for like the last 5-10 years. This one had 10 years, so you can see that, because they said they put a new roof on it. You could tell it was done about 2011, because by 2012, the property tax value went from like 390 some to like 400 and some. For like, I mean, it went up. There was a definite boom, 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 boom. So I could tell that. Of course, it had when, you know, when it had been up on market, and then it had been up for, you know, since 18, and then this and that, then it was pulled off the market and then put back up again. And this and that, like, I don't think anybody's lived in that house for at least 2.5 years. At least 2 years. At least 2 years. Could have been they put it up for sale and they were still living there for a bit and gathering their shit up and trying to figure out what they want to do. But at least 2 years this place has not had anybody live in it. And you could just tell it looks like what they did on their way out to try to make shit look better, I guess, for the pictures, for the, you know, for the realtors and all that. The paint in the living room is so fucking streaky. It's... It looked like they were just in an ultimate hurry and just slapped the shit in there and went boop, 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 boop. Okay, yeah, that looks good enough. Like, there was no edging, there was no trimming. You can actually see, like, the roller marks. And then they left all the nails and the screws in the walls and shit, so, like, they rolled completely over the screws and the nails, so, like, you know, like, ain't nobody gonna see that. And then, to top it all off, behind the, when you open the front door and open it all the way up, if you close it again a little bit, that wall that it was leaning up against, the interior, you know, wall or whatever, it's the paint starting to peel, which I can kind of see because it's getting kind of old and, you know, whatever like that. But it's this real thick, like, chippy. I mean, I'm sure that it's still fucking lead-based paint. I'm fucking almost sure of it. Because the color of this fucking paint that was underneath, think of a baby blue, and then think of it being green instead. It's almost a... It's not dark enough to be an olive drab, but it's not, like, green enough to be a pea green. It's more of a soft kind of green, like... It reminds me of, like, you know, it reminds me pure fucking, like, 70s green. Like where you basically had your greens and your browns and your yellows and shit, like what most houses and shit would have been painted in by then. And they were still using lead-based paint back then, so yeah, they had no knowledge of lead-based paint in my fucking ass. So not only is the popcorn ceiling probably full of asbestos, the goddamn paint's probably full of fucking lead. It would probably behoove me to peel all that shit off and fucking start again. Especially when behind the door, like I was saying, starting to peel off some of that stuff, I actually got down to the fucking plaster. Like, you could feel it was like, there ain't no paint here. This is like something else. Oh shit, I think this is the plaster. Then I gotta spackle all the fucking holes in the walls, sand over that shit, re-spackle over it again to make sure I got all the pits out, sand over that shit again. It's like, you know, there's hack job after hack job in this place, and like, what the fuck is that thing? Looks like a reject from the Pokeverse. Good God Almighty. Feather ornament. So like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with that upstairs as far as the color. I don't know what I'm going to do with the whole house as far as the colors yet and everything go, but I mean, I don't even know if this place still has the original hardwood floors in it, because I was told by the realtor that if I pulled up the carpet and everything and did what I could, I'd probably get down to the original hardwood floors in it, and I could probably, you know, sand them bitches down, varnish them up real good, whatever varnish or stain or whatever on that, and then wax over, you know, wax seal it in. Shit. The thing is, I could probably, with a little bit of my own ingenuity, a little bit of my own work into it, and doing things, fixing up things, redoing like the yard and the, they got these weird bricks, these weird pavers in the fucking walkway. And it's not so much that I can see the idea, I can see what they were trying to go for. But it's been so damn long since anybody's even screwed with any of this stuff that it's coming up now in places. It's buried by weeds and the dirt and time in the other places. That it all needs pulled up and redone again, and like they got these weird like railroad ties cut into certain pieces and put up around the house to kind of make makeshift flower boxes, but it's like right up against the house first of all, and second of all, they mainly got this shit filled with like lava rocks and then whatever kind of fucking bushes they put on the side of it. And it's like, why? Seems like to me that a lot of that shit would catch the water and divert it down into the fucking foundation, which I was looking when it was raining real bad, and that looks like what's fucking happening. It's starting to get a little wet on that one wall there. Which, look, an 80-year-old house, I ain't gonna say ain't gonna have problems. Because it will have fucking problems. But there's certain things that you can either do or not do to a house that will prevent some of this shit from happening and, you know, prolong the life of the house. And some of this shit that they decided to put up alongside of the house just does not look like it was a good idea. It was like, you know, and you know, if my cousin's watching, if Travis is watching, you know, I don't mean to talk shit about your mom, but we've talked about this before. There was certain things like trees and bushes and stuff like that that his mom wanted to put around the house. And I get it, yes, make your yard look pretty and everything and do all this and that. But she didn't think about, if I put it this close to the house, how will it affect the plumbing? Because, like, you put a tree too close to a house, it's going to fuck up your foundation eventually when the roots start growing out. You put it too close to your well, or you put it too close to your septic, it's going to start wrapping around all the pipes and all that shit and start busting them and all that. You don't need that. These certain trees that she put out there, she called them elephant trees. I don't know what the hell they were. They could have been called elephant trees. I don't know. All I know is these sumbitches multiply. Like, badly they multiply. I think she only planted like 3 out in the fucking yard. And by the time we started cutting them down, there was like 6, 7 of them out there. And that wasn't counting the smaller ones we've cut up over the years that started growing down around them. And like the 1 or 2 that tried to grow up by the house, we've had to keep cutting down. These were the ones that we just said, fuck it and let them grow. So she, like the yellow bush that we had to cut out from around the one edge of the house, she put it there because she thought it looked pretty. And I get it, and I understand, but she didn't think how bad those yellow bushes get out of control. How bad those fucking elephant trees reproduce. How, you know, getting close to a house like that around, you know, can bust pipes and fuck up your foundation. And I think these people who did the whole railroad tie thing and all the fucking lava rocks and all this shit, the way they did this whole shit, they didn't think that that was going to catch a lot of the water and basically kind of slide it and divert it toward the foundation. They just, oh, it looked pretty. So I don't give a fuck if it looks pretty. Is it gonna fuck shit up? I did go in that door, yeah. Okay. And, but, you know, when, you know, when my cousin and his family and everything first moved in that place, like 15, some almost 20 years ago now. I think they were in there in, what, 04, 05? So, they've been in there a while. She was looking, getting a catalog full of plants and different stuff like that, and saw, you know, the trees and everything in the catalog, just bought them and just put them where she wanted to put them, and didn't really care how they were going to affect everything. And, you know, by the time she passed and everything, and we'd been, you know, the last couple of years before she passed, I'd been trimming some of that away, that yellow bush on the side of the house. But that shit got so bad it took over the whole corner of the trailer. So I basically had to go in there 2 or 3 times, you know, when I could, and be chopping shit out and scraping it over and, you know, putting it on the fire pile and doing this and doing that, till I could finally get to a position where I could take the riding lawnmower and basically mow it all down to the dirt. And then I told him too after that, I'm like, from now on, you're going to have to keep mowing over here and keep getting this close, or it's going to get that bad. But, I mean, she didn't think about it. She thought it was just, you know, nice on the side of the house. And for something like that, you know, yeah, I mean, you would think, but they said they had the one place they lived at, you know, on the other side of Virginia. This one house they lived in there for a while had basically had a yellow bush. I think it was kind of in the middle or near the house, or it was in the middle of like this horseshoe driveway. And he said his dad played hell trying to keep that damn thing down and keep that damn thing trim. I think as a matter of fact that at one point in time, this motherfucker even poured gas on the bitch and set it on fire. And then the sumbitch still come back the next year. Like, he tried everything to get rid of this fucking yellow bush. I mean, my great uncle used to have a problem at his place with fucking, I think it was called Morning Glory. Something like that. It's basically like ivy that would, you know, climb up on everything. And, you know, he had a real bad around his side yard and everything. He would always climbing the fence. And his whole thing was, you know, this stuff ain't too hard to get rid of, as long as when you pull it up, you make sure you get every bit of it. Don't let any bit of it hit the ground and stay on the ground, or don't forget to get any bit of it kind of hanging in the ground or whatever. Any little bit will either take off again or will reroot and take off then. You gotta get, when you cut anything down, you gotta gather up every scrap, every piece you cut up, everything. And I believe that's how this yellow bush was, because what happened was the first time I went out there, I decided, hey, I'm just gonna start, you know, chopping shit off, and it wasn't even that bad. I'm gonna start chopping shit off. Then it got late and I left it. And I'm like, well, I'll just wait till, you know, hopefully it'll die or whatever, and I'll just scrape it out of there later. This bitch come back 2-3 times fucking big, as big and as full as it ever fucking was. That's because I cut the shit down and I let it lay on the ground, and it rerooted. Somehow or another, it rerooted itself. So, I took what I could and... oh, fuck. I forgot to... fuck. Die already. I forgot to... that's what I was gonna do. So, I mean, like the bushes that they got in there right now are just kind of scraggly. I don't know what the hell they are right now. They look more like desert bushes in a way. Desert, not cactus. But they're like really like robust. I mean, they still even had their green leaves on them and everything during the wintertime. I mean, they're really kind of like robust, almost evergreen type, like desert cactus, desert bush type shit. I mean, it's just having that shit right up near the house, right up along the foundation. Why would you do that? You need to have some kind of a barrier so that the water don't, because the whole property goes downhill. So everything that falls from up above is going to run down below, and it's going to run parallel to the fucking foundation. And if you don't find a way to seal that off, it's going to run, you know, down into the foundation. And it seemed like all that shit was a perfect place for that shit to just catch and run right into the foundation. All that shit's going to have to go. The walkway is going to have to be torn up, and I kind of like what they did, and I might keep all the pavers and everything and just re-tamp the ground down and put more of that plastic whatever seal, or that they got this diamond grid shit that's already like it's like injection mold, like preformed. You can put that down there, maybe fill it with a little bit of gravel or something. You could drop that shit down in there and then like like maybe grout your pavers in or something, you know. I might kind of keep the general idea of what they were going for. But then there's a spot at the, at the porch, at the bottom of the porch toward the front of the yard. And they've got these little, like, 1-inch bricks paving the whole thing, but it's because it's been so long and all this stuff. They've all, like, most of them have come up. There's weeds growing through them. There's just... There's a playhouse out there that somebody built. And I went out there this last time I was there. And I mean, grabbed onto the side of it and was shaking the shit out of it and everything. And if I put a new door on it and maybe fix the windows and everything, give it a nice little paint job, it's still solid. I would still, if I cleaned it out and everything and fixed it up, and, did just some general patching and maintenance, I fixed it up. If I ever had kids, I'd have no problem with them playing in it because it's solid as shit. But what am I gonna do with a fucking little playhouse? I guess it could be like a, I hate this fucking term, but, they say, like, men have, like, man caves. Women always kind of want their she sheds. Where she can have a place where it's all, like, closed in, and she can, have drinks or have mimosas or whatever out there with her girlfriends and this and that and whatever. Or just a place where she can read a book and what, like... You can make it into a shed, something like that. I mean, you really could. It's not very big. You're only probably going to put 2, maybe 3 people in it max. And you're not going to be able to stand up really straight in it. Once you kind of get in it, you're kind of going to have to duck to get through the door. And then kind of turn around and sit down. But after that, I mean, you have enough room for legs and, for your head and everything like that. It's just when you stand up, you're kind of going to have to duck a little bit and duck out. It was a playhouse for little kids, for little girls. The roof still looks solid on it. It's got a fucking screen door on it. Which it looked like, I looked in there, and it looked like they had it where you can, like, attach double doors, like double Dutch doors or whatever onto it later on. Instead of having the screen door part on it. The little windows on either side of it done fell out of it a long time ago. All they were like plexiglass. So, that wasn't much for anything anyway. I was like, what the hell am I going to do with it? Especially once I get the money up together. Damn. Especially when I get the money up together. I'm going to have the front porch basically torn down and rebuilt. And I'm going to have the front porch all screened in and everything, with a little door on it and everything anyway. So, like, if you come over to my place and we're hanging out at night and, having a few drinks or whatever, or, whatever anybody wants to do out on the patio, or, out on the porch outside, if you want to smoke, if you want to light up one, have a little of the Mary Do You Wanna? If it wasn't for me having to drive and everything and having to kind of keep straight with that, I'd smoke instead of drink, but alcohol don't stay in your system that long. Marijuana can stay in your system depending. Your very first time, or very first time in a long while, a week. The second time, like 2 weeks. The third time, like a month. I mean, after you get like 2 or 3 times right in a row in like a weekend or whatever, I mean, you can be fucked for almost a month. If you get a good hard weekend of you're smoking every chance you get at a party, weekend-long party. If you smoke at least 4, 5, 6 times during a weekend, you'll be dirty a whole month. And that's average body weight and metabolism. If you're heavier like me, that shit's gonna really, you know, absorb into your fat cells, and it may take 45 days. And that's the last thing I need right now. But I ain't got a problem with people that do it, because I've done it before. I know what it's like. Did I just... No, it's still going downstairs. Shit. I don't have a problem. I really don't have a problem. Ooh, this may be... this is gonna be close. Mother. Oh. Motherfucker. But I mean, basically my point is to have a screened-in porch outside. I still smoke cigarettes or cigarillos, mainly cigarillos right now. I've been trying to get, although I don't know where the fuck the one pack of my damn cigarettes that I had went. I thought I bought 2 of them before I went home, and one of them's gone. If I either smoked it or fucking forgot about it, or somebody else fucking got a hold of it, or I dropped it somewhere. I don't know. I thought I had 2 packs by the time I went home. And, excuse me, apparently I didn't. But I'm not going to smoke in my house. I smoke in this truck because I goddamn live in this truck, basically. But when I got my car, I wasn't smoking, then I was vaping, and even then, well, I think I would vape in the car a little bit, but I wouldn't smoke. And I asked everybody else not to smoke in my car, and my cousin since quit smoking a couple months after his mom died. He's like, you know what, fuck this, I ain't doing this anymore. So he ain't been smoking in my car. I don't even smoke in the house when I'm over there with him anymore. Because he don't smoke anymore, and he don't want that shit in the house, and so I don't smoke in the house. My own house, when I was there I didn't smoke in the house. I went outside on the porch and smoked on the porch. It would be great to have a screened-in porch where I can go out there at night after I'm done with this and that, and everything's screened in, and all nice and everything, and I don't have to worry about the mosquitoes getting in and fucking biting my ass. The flies getting in, all this shit, And just go out there with the porch light on and sit on the porch swing, which I kind of want to get a new porch swing. That one's holding up, but it's not the best looking. But, get a new porch swing, and I've got a few of old kitchen chairs sitting out there on my porch right now. And just sit out there and maybe, smoke a cigarette or a cigarillo and have a mixed drink and just sit out there where you ain't gonna let the mosquitoes eating your ass up. But like that little, that little playhouse, that little, little shed. Like, I don't know what the hell I want to do with that. There's some banner in there for some kind of race or some shit. Like there's an old, dog cage or animal, like a soft whatever, animal carrier in there. There's an old vacuum cleaner in there that it might work. I don't know. I ain't pulled it out to check yet. God damn, fucking... There's a few other things. Hell, in the, there's a garage, which I would not use that garage because it looks like the back wall's about ready to fall in, and the other side walls may fall in eventually, too. There's a case in there that's got some old fucking 8-tracks in it. I'm like, now if only I had an 8-track player. I might, you know, like I said, I might pull them out of there and... There's a fucking exercise machine in there. There's a fucking, like an old weight bench, like a... How do I put this? It's not like your traditional, like, just bench, and then it's got all, like, the circular weights or whatever that you put on the bar. It's an actual, like, proper bench that's hooked up to all the pulley system, and it's got the plates in it that you put the pin in the one plates, depending, you know, here, 20 pounds, 50, 100, 150, whatever, like, you know, like down the line, and you do the whole curls or the pulls or this and that. Like, it's all in pieces, but from the way I'm gathering and the way I'm looking, there's one in there. I'm like, why in the fuck did they leave this in here? Like, I could probably fucking take that and put that together and put it in the house. I don't have an 8-track player, but, you know. I need to get me a better, like, record player, like a turntable, because I got one, but I don't think the needle on it's all that good. And the thing itself ain't all that damn good, so... It don't even have a preamp on it, and the actual radio with the amp and everything that I've got... Oh, wasn't that supposed to bring me back? Shit, well I did save it though, so... I thought that thing was supposed to bring me back when I was at 0. It was supposed to actually... Maybe if I had it equipped and then used it just before I went to 0. Oh well, it wasn't that long ago that I'd... I don't know. But I want to fix that up and everything, and then the back and everything has potential if I could find somebody to, you know, kind of cut out and grade that area and extend the back porch part a little bit. I could probably put a fucking pool back there, or, you know, or... Or a fucking hot tub or something, you know. I love a hot tub, but... In a way, it's kind of like a pool because, you know, my only problem... Son of a bitch. Good goddamn thing, that was fucking empty. The only problem is with these fucking long-ass cords. They fucking get hung up under my feet all the fucking time. The problem with a pool is I'm only home a couple of weeks out of the year. Maybe 40 days or something, 50 at the max out of the year. If I weatherproofed it and did all the shit you do in the fall, half drain it, do whatever you gotta do to keep it from freezing or to keep, when it does freeze, from busting everything. That's one thing. But then, like, in the spring and everything, you gotta fill it up. You gotta do all this, like, shock treatment to it and everything to get it ready to go. And if I remember right, it takes a couple of days to a week or something before the shock treatment actually takes, before you'd actually want to swim in it. So, you know, there's that. And then, you know, on top of all that, by the time I get that done and taken care of, I have, what, maybe a day or two to swim in it? And then what, leave it hanging open? I don't know, leave it hanging wide open, whatever, you know, for anybody and anything to get into it? So yeah, I don't know, but, I'd only be able to enjoy it so much, you know, out of the year. I don't know if it'd even be worth it. So I think I'm gonna have to hang this up and, you know, come back at this one a little bit later. So like I said, a lot of that probably gonna have to wait till I actually, you know, get retired and get an actual, you know, actually have some time at home to myself. Because I basically, that garage and everything, I basically want to tear out down there. I want to tear out and put a whole workshop in there. And maybe even fix the front part where I could drive my car into it, you know, to kind of lock it up. And another set of double doors where I can bring materials in and different stuff like that in there. But my whole, you know, grand plan basically was to be able to make and do certain shit and everything, to be able to sell and whatever on my own after I'm not able to drive anymore. So a lot of the stuff, like even the pool, might not even suit me very well until after I'm done retired and off the road. And who the hell knows how long that'll be. Oh, we didn't hit the fucking brick wall down here. Oh, come on. Oh, you don't like that very much, do you? I don't like that fucking ice sword. But yeah, I just, you know, I like some places where I could just kind of, you know, hang out. I'm not, like, stuck in the house, like, trying to suck up the air conditioning and all that shit. I'm outside with the breeze blowing and the, you know, the night air, and you hear the frogs and the damn crickets and all that shit out there at that place. It's loud as shit at night, especially after it's rained. I have to actually go outside with my phone one day when I'm back there, and fucking at night, and fucking you know, record some of the area and record just how loud it gets. It gets loud out there with all the crickets and the frogs and all that shit going off. But it's nice. It's, you know, it's one of them nice things. You go out there and just, let's say, hell, even with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or, you know, whatever's your preferred drink of choice, and just go out there and just sit in a closed-in screen porch kind of environment where, you know, you don't have to worry about getting eaten up by mosquitoes or anything else. I mean, it's nice. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and save it here. I think the next time I play, I'll try to work my way up out of this labyrinth. At least, teleport back to the top there. But I have saved it. Did I overwrite? Yep. Alright. Because I've really got to use the bathroom, too. So. Alright, so. That being said, I will get out of here and I'll do the thing, and I shall see you all later, and hopefully everything will work out better with the scheduling and all that, and I'll keep consistent. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to give you a little bit of insight on what I'm trying to do with the house and everything too, because eventually the upstairs part is going to be the studio. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and do the thing, and I shall see you all later. This has been Conspicuously Incredible Gaming with your host, Mike. If you like this content, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with your friends, do all the things. It really helps. Also, check out the links below for all the other places that I post on and I stream on, as well as Streamlabs. If you'd like to donate $1 or $2, that's fine. Also, the Discord, you can join and everything, and see what we're up to and talk to everybody there. The other links for the people who've contributed things over the past and, whatnot and so forth. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Take care and have a good 4. Conspicuously Incredible Gaming is a Conspicuously Incredible production. ConspicuouslyIncredible.com